Yo, you guys can hear me, right? Okay, let's get started. Um, Today I'm going to. We're kind of finished with the Anza LLM. I mean, the chatbot. It works now, and it has pretty decent like interface UI. But I want to code a benchmark for it to, evaluate the model. I made one before, but at the end I wasn't so satisfied with it. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm going to make a new one. Let's get started. Okay, my plan is that I'm going to, because I have a golden set right here ready. The golden set is basically like a file where I have the question and the answer, like the sample answer, to evaluate whether the model returns the correct result or not. So, okay, where's the golden set? Where the heck is that? Wait a minute, let me see. I need to show you guys the golden set, but I don't really remember where did I put that thing. What? Where is it? Wait, hold up, hold up, hold on, hold on. Where's the golden set? Huh? Did I open the wrong one? No, this is the correct one. Picage is not this one. Um, okay, wonder where I put the golden set. This is weird. Wait, which, um, branches this is main, right? Okay, so maybe I deleted that. There's a chance. I don't know. Let me see if I deleted that. Golden set. Nope, I didn't delete that. So where did that go? I wonder. Where did that go? Uh, okay, this is very weird. Golden set.json 50 verify the answers to questions. I have no idea where did that go though. Like, did I throw them into the git ignore? No, I didn't. That's a JSON file, so like, how could I? Okay, let me just. Oh man. Okay. Golden set.json. Where the heck did that go? Oh my god. Where the heck did it go? Okay, here we have the file again. We have all the file right here. Okay, so I guess you check out main. For some reason, so we don't have git restore source. Wait, let me just firstly, let me just pull the code first because my friend uh changed some code in main. Let me see. Okay, and then restore source found JSON and it commit bring JSON files back from branch found. Main. Wait, this is a bit too heavy, isn't it? I think it's a bit too heavy. Warning, large file detected. It's just a warning, isn't it? It's not that heavy, I guess. Maybe, maybe not. Wait, then how did I manage to... Wait, how did I... Uh... Wait, I'm a bit confused about something. Let me see. I didn't push any files up there, so how did it manage to answer the questions? I'm a bit confused. So I kind of forgot how I implemented the database, so like I'm confused right now. So let's see. So we have the data live in the database. I'm so dumb. I literally forgot how I did that. Like I knew that there's a database on NeonTech. I host it on NeonTech using Versal, but I don't remember exactly how did I do that. So we scraped the data to catalog.py, okay, and then we scrape into schedule.py. Mm-hmm. And for some reasons, I didn't have to use JSON files. So firstly, I start to remember it now. So in the scrapers, I wrote some script that scraped, not scrapes though, that parsed the data from these JSON files into a database, a SQL database, and then I hosted on Postgres SQL. And sorry, I injected into Postgres SQL, and I hosted on NeonTech. I see. So basically, these JSON files are no longer needed, isn't it? It's on the database already. So basically, they have already been exist been existing in the database. So in the future, when the time comes, the script, which is basically scrape automatically from the sources, from the web sources, we don't have to touch these JSON files anymore. Okay, I started getting it now. So I got to remove them first. So I'll have to, okay, it's remove the JSON files as we have already hosted database on Yuntech. It push you origin main. The only thing I have to restore is basically the golden set, because like that's from the yes, that's for testing purpose. I'll just golden set.json. Yeah, and git commit restore golden set from found for tests for bench marking purposes. Git push the origin main. Okay, untracked files, nothing added to commit, but untracked files present. Huh? Oh yeah, I forgot to add. So basically, I'll just, yep. Okay, it works. So let's come back to the benchmarking stuffs. Okay, let me see. So at present, we do have every framework working smoothly already, but like I want to evaluate this framework on a range of different models, maybe around 20 models, to see how they varies the performance on latency, on constant tokens, and so on. So like golden set will be like the standard benchmark to evaluate the models. That is so far my plan. If you wonder how did I make this golden set, then I'll just like I literally have Gemini scraping the data from the school's website and tell it to answer these questions. That's what I did. Seriously. But like, we don't have the verified answer though, do we? I don't, yeah, we don't. Okay, so that's a thing we have to keep in mind. Oh, I'll just don't give a shit. Okay, let's start with creating the file first. So I guess I'll just put it in core. Yeah, I guess so. Yep. Just call it like benchmark, like same version like before. So benchmark.py. So we basically just have two main folders. The first one is scrapers. The second one is core. And anything that's not related to scraping stuff, I'll just put them in score in core. Okay. As for the benchmark stuffs, we're going to need to create new files and folders. So firstly, import OS. Secondly, we're going to need open router. So we're going to need dot environment. Thirdly, we're going to need to measure time. So import time to measure latency. Fourthly, I'll have to interact with the golden set, so import JSON. And the framework for creating Judge AI, so OpenAI, import OpenAI. Yep. And I'll have to write a table, so CSV, retrieval, import, hybrid search for rack, and this is for generating the answer, of course. So firstly, I'll have to have this command to use the API key from our global environment. Okay, and we have client. By the way, if you're wondering, then yes, we're using OpenAI because OpenRouter, they use the same framework as OpenAI. But like if you don't have OpenRouter account or you don't have credits inside there, you can use Lite LLM, but that's not my thing. I'm not interested. I'll just use OpenRouter. It's much faster and more convenient. OpenRouter.ai API v1. And we have the API key, which is API key, OS get environment, open router, API key. Yep. So the benchmark models we're going to use are benchmark models. We're going to use from OpenAI, Anthropic. What else? Gemini, of course. Llama. DeepSeek, Mistral, basically just Chinese models. Chinese and Cohere. Microsoft. I don't know which nation does Cohere belong to, but I guess maybe America or maybe maybe Chinese, maybe China. I don't know, no idea. So GPT-4. Next we have OpenAI GPT-4 Turbo and O3 Mini. O3 is actually a pretty expensive model, but let's see how expensive will like be different from budget-friendly ones. Expensive, I mean like $4 per a million token. That's expensive. Usually for GPT for O Mini or like older models, it's just around few like dozens of cents, like around 30 cents for per like a million token, which is not a lot. That's a very cheap price, to be fair. But like you have to benchmark them to see if it's actually worth it, because maybe the price is cheaper, but like the rate of token is higher. So they basically consume more token, which results in higher price at the end of the day. So that's why it's very important to just benchmark things beforehand and create like a sequence of models. So why do we need a sequence? We need a sequence because what if your provider run out of that model, or maybe they stop providing it, they discontinue it, then what would you do, right? We cannot let a product get paused just because the model, the baseline model is using get paused. Like that's a an unoptimal structure in my opinion. So sequence is kind of important in my opinion. 405 bytes instruct. I've always been wondering what does instruct mean. I guess instruct is like they have the word rail for the models. Like it cannot bypass, for example, um, captchas, sort of things like that, or like it cannot guide you to do deviated things like how to create a gun or sort of things like that. So I guess that's what instruct means. Kind of, I don't know. There's a model named like I forgot a name though, but like it doesn't have any core trail. It's provided by Hugging Face, like by a company on Hugging Face, of course, but I don't remember exactly the name. I tried using it once and it literally guided me how to hack, not hack though, but like guided me how to bypass the guardrail of Claude, which is pretty crazy. Like that's weird. But that didn't work though, because it's not smart enough, of course. They wouldn't open source such like unfiltered model like that. It's too dangerous. So okay, we finished with the list of models for benchmarking. This is 20 models. 4 from OpenAI, 3 from Anthropic, 3 from Gemini, 3 from Llama, and around 7 from Chinese Cohere and Microsoft. So for some under the hood explanation, base URL is basically the source of Open Router. This replaces the original URL from OpenAI. So Python SDK can connect to Open Router server. A load dot environment means that we use the key from our environment. That's it. So let's test this out if it works. Here we go. If it returns like hi or like okay, then yeah, everything works. Okay, it returns okay. That's great. That's great. Let's move on. Okay. Next, we're going to run a model. Okay. So the purpose is that we have the ID, we have the question, we have the retrieved context. So we want to send these inputs to Open Router and measures the response text. Measure means like evaluated, um, calculated how long it takes the model to return the answer, like latency in milliseconds, count the number of tokens that cause the model to return the answer, and evaluate the rate of hallucination. So that's what the next function will do. So far, so good. Okay, let's see. So I'll just name it run model inference. Inference. We have the name of the model or the ID, whatever you call it, question, the user question, and the context, which is the retrieved context that we stored in our context variable. So this function is to um, send the student's question and the retrieved context to Open Router and measures, evaluates the response text. Okay, so we have the prompt, or should I be precise, it's the system prompt. So context from official the Anza sources. Yep, so we have context right here. Do we? Should I? Yeah, I should, of course. So we have the student question. Yep, there you go. We have the messages. The role is the system. The context is you are the Anza college assistant. I mistyped it, right? Okay, that's a typo. Answer based only on the provided context. If the data is missing, direct to the anza.edu. Perfect. So the next role we have to give it is a user. Ooh, okay. And the context of this is prompt, system prompt. Let me verify if this is correct. So in case you're wondering what I'm doing right here, we have to give the role of the model as a system because oh, sorry. Oh man, I'm dumb. We have to give it the role of the system because this is the persona of the model. It's basically the assistant, the chatbot, so it's not a user. The second one is that, like, well, for example, if you feed the data for your model to investigate, right? It has to know what is the context behind it and what is the persona behind that message, right? So if you feed a student's question, then the persona of the question is a student. If you feed the output or the response of a system, and the persona is a system. So like that's what it does. Okay. Um, let's keep going on. So how should we return it? How should we? The most important thing is the latency. Actually, the most important thing is the cost, but like the first thing we're going to measure is the latency. So start time will be time and perf counter. What perf counter does is that it takes the exact moment when this function is called. That's what it does. And we have to do try and accept. Except I'll just think of the exception later. Firstly, let's work on the response first. So we have the response right here. The format is client chat completions create. Yep. Model is model. Model is like the model is literally the model ID, like the name of it. That's it. Messages equals messages. Temperature. This has to be a little bit, creative because we are evaluating things. So 0.2, we give it maximum 500 tokens in case it burns out everything. We have the latency. In millisecond is again called the exact moment, and we deduct the start time. We multiply it by 1,000 because this is milliseconds, isn't it? Like the measure time will be in seconds, and in order to convert to milliseconds, you have to multiply it by 1,000. That's what it does. The answer is response choices 0. Message. What does choices 0 mean? It means, like, well, the structure of the model's response, it has so many things inside, and choices takes us the first component, which is the raw text. So that's it. It's just like a list. We take the first component of the list, and content we strip. Strip basically means it takes away the unnecessary components of text of the string. Usage equals response usage. And I'm return here as well. So we have the answer. This is answer. Okay, we have latency, not milliseconds, round latency milliseconds by 2. Next, we have prompt tokens, which basically measures how much token we use. So OpenAI does it for us. Just call the function if usage, else 0. Completion tokens. Usage, completion tokens. If usage, else 0. And error, like error message, model will return this for us. As for the exception, just put it as E, exception as E, okay. So we have latency equals still the same. We have perf counter, deduct by the start time multiplied by 1,000. And we have the format of returning is. So this should be a blank. This should be like, okay, this should be 0. This should be 0 as well because there's an error. And this should be the string of the error. That's it. So to explain this, try and accept basically what it does is that sometime when you call the model, there will be an error. It's either the connection error, the HTTP error, or something wrong in the logic of the code. For example, if you tell a model that is not specialized in generating like images or like read images and you feed images into the model, then it will return an error. So that's what the error field does. It captures the output error so that you can debug more easily. Let's come back. Okay. From core benchmark, import run model inference, result equals run model inference, OpenAI, GPT 4.0 mini. What is CAS 22A? Question mark. And CAS 22A is beginning C++, sort of things like that. And you print out, oh, forgot to, okay. Wait, result, answer, and the end of it, we have to take the first or last 80 characters, and then this is the latency. Latency, we have the latency dot milliseconds, and the unit of it, which is milliseconds. That's it, right? Let's see if it works. I think it works. Okay, it doesn't work. I'm dumb. In line 62, there's an error that I forgot to put a comma right here. Nope. Okay, so unhashable. Okay, this is a list, not a dictionary. No. How should I? Okay, and let's see if it works now. Yep, it works. Perfect. Did it work? Okay, I think I don't have to. Wait, for some reasons I didn't receive any answer. Let's just remove this away and see if it works. Like, this is weird. Okay, it returns empty. It returns empty. So did it work or not? I know. Not so sure. So this is the model ID, this is the question, this is the answer. So we have the correct syntax ready, correct format. We want to return the answer. So we don't have any answer. Let's see if there's any error. Okay. I think there's an error. So return, let's see, error. Res, error. I guess there's an error because like the output is empty, right? Yeah, there's an error. Oh gosh, there is. So error code is message provider returned error 400. I genuinely don't understand what's going on. Invalid value for content expected a string got null. So why did it expected a string and it got null? The problem may lie in this function. We have the model, we have everything right here. Did I call the wrong function? I didn't. That's the correct function. We have the model, we have the messages, isn't it? Do we? Yeah, we do. This is pretty weird. Context from official Anza sources. Scene question is question. Messages. Ruler system. Directing back. Prompt. I don't know what's going on. Let's see. Pretty weird. Yeah, pretty weird. Okay then. Okay, I'll just copy the output and then ask ChatGPT what's wrong. I have no idea what's going on. This is like the ultimate solution. Literally, like I'm wondering why it ran into this error because like before we didn't have this error, right? So what could be the reason? What could be the reason? We didn't have any Wait. Oh, I see it now. This is actually content, not context. That's the reason. That's the reason. Even though I've done this so many times, I still ran into like very stupid errors like this. Like very stupid mistakes. Okay, so it works now, I guess. No error, everything works happily. Oh, I'm so hungry. I think I'm gonna end the stream early. Okay, let's come back later.